Howdy folks, Bluesboy Jag here, Cigar box guitar, Peerless. This is vintage cigar box guitar artwork from a real cigar box, dating back, probably teens, maybe 20s, I would guess. Found it on the internet, not sure. And this has been printed out on my computer and attached to this cigar box, sized, perfectly for the size of this box. This is a pretty nice heavy-duty wood box. I've made a ton of cigar boxes out of this box. It's not too big, not too small, just right. And I got it plugged in here, so this is what it sounds like. So this is a single coil pickup, and these are the screws embedded into the box that hold the pickup in, and they also transfer the sound from the strings to the pickup. And I do that so that the artwork is preserved, so I don't have to take a big chunk out of the box. And this is a 3-string tuned A, E, A, A, E, A. This is a 5th string, a 4th, and a 3rd string from a regular electric guitar set. There's a lot of different ways to tune them, and when I say a lot, there is a lot of ways to tune these. You can tune them to a minor chord, you can tune them to a major chord, you can tune them to a power chord, which is what this is. There's no major third in this particular chord. And you don't really need to even know that, but for those of you who are familiar with all that gobbledygook, there you go. A lot of people tune these to the power chord simply because a lot of beginners like to use these 3-stringers, and a lot of blues players like to use them, which doesn't mean you have to play blues. It doesn't mean you have to be a beginner. It's the easy way to start out. But then again, a lot of people tune these 3 strings, the 5th, 4th, and 3rd, like a natural guitar would be tuned. A, D, G. It's not tuned to a chord in that case. And you play partial chords, just like you would play 6-string chords, but you would play 3-string versions of those same 6-string chords. Anyway, for those beginners out there that are going, what are you talking about? Don't worry about it. There's just a billion options on these things. And I put the tuners, in this case, this is a 3-string, so there's 3 tuners, and I have what's called a string tree. All that does is put some pressure down there on the string so that the string winds around the lower end of the tuner. Right there, somewhere around there, you know what I'm saying, you know what I mean? I think you know what I say, I think you know what I mean. And you have to have tension on those strings, so those are old school bolts, or screws, I guess, technically. So I try to keep these old school looking. Numbered on the back. Yeah, I like to keep these cigar box guitars looking old school, because to me, that's the really what these are all about, is kind of a resurgence of interest in the old school guitars that people would make when they couldn't afford to buy one. Buddy guy started out on a CBG, and the story is that he took the screen door from his house, and the wire in the screen door, he unwound the wire from a screen door, and you can imagine how long that took, and he did that to make his strings. So he used the thin wire for the thin strings, and he used double thin wire for the middle and triple thin wire for the big string, and he had a 3-string CBG. Buddy guy. So back to the open tune dealie. So this right here is an A chord. Not really, but kind of, just call it A. It's really a power chord, but call it A. So that's an A chord. So all you gotta do is go one finger across all three, and you've got a B chord, you've got a C chord. Is that right? Yeah, C chord, D, E, F, G, A. One finger all the way across. So a lot of beginners use a 3-string cigar box guitar, and then they might move on to a 6-string and become Eddie Van Halen or Jimmy Page, or maybe not. Who knows? Maybe they sell it to their friends and they give up and never learn how to play. But you'd be amazed at what you can do with 3 strings. You can tune it a billion different ways. This is turned up pretty loud here through a tube amp, so it gets that natural distortion. But you can use whatever pedals you want, whatever amps you want, and some people play country on these, some people play blues, some people play rock and roll. Just a million different options on these. I call these hot rodded guitars. They're like hot rods. So if you have a hot rod car, you know, and you chop off the top of it, you know, you make it short, you put a big honking engine in it, you're probably not going to take the family on a long cruise, long trip across country in a hot rod. You're probably just going to take it out for the weekend, or maybe just Sunday afternoon and spin around in the desert or whatever. It's just kind of a hobby thing. Well, same deal with these. It's not a 6-string, which doesn't mean you can't play songs on it, but it is a 3. It is slightly limited compared to 6. However, there's stuff you can do on this one you can't do on the 6, and blah, 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 blah. So, not to say that these are toys and they're not real guitars at all. They're specified for certain things. So you probably wouldn't want to play, oh, I don't know, Yngwie Malmsteen on one of these. Although I'm sure somebody probably has already done that anyway. There you go, folks. Bloody-dee, 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 yakety, schmackety. There's a CBG Peerless cigar box guitar. I've been making these since 2005, over 4,000 made. All signed and numbered. That little dealy whopper right there, that's a dealy whopper. Actually, that's a adjustment tool. It raises or lowers the neck just a little bit, so it raises or lowers the strings. So you can play slide if you have the strings higher, and you can play fingerstyle if you have them lower. If you put them right in the middle, which is where this is, you can play fingerstyle and slide once again. Thanks for watching, and thanks for your kind support.